Richard, I know, is going to talk to you about TEF, what TEF actually is, the Teaching Excellence Framework, shortly at 10 o'clock. But the university, we've all been responsible in having to understand and react to government measures as to how they sort of want to quantify our performance. One of those over the last couple of years has been the Teaching Excellence Framework, where the government wants to measure and externally quantify for stakeholders, for parents, for students, what it means to be taught in a good university, to look at the student support that students get whilst they're here, the quality of the teaching, and also what they go on to do, the sort of employability statistics. So those measures go into giving a gold, bronze or silver award, and about a third of the universities in the UK got a gold award. Last year we were very pleased, obviously as DMUGlobal University, to receive one of those prestigious gold awards for our Teaching Excellence Framework, and Richard will explain a bit more how that's changing and going from an institutional award, actually going down into subject levels as well. So engineering, computer science, media, all will start to be ranked over the next couple of years on gold, silver or bronze. So that's a challenge for universities as well as an opportunity for us to articulate what we do well here. As well as the Teaching Excellence Framework, universities are ranked according to their research excellence. And this is particularly important for us as we're very proud to still be very active research excellent university. So in the last Research Excellence Framework in 2014, across all of our schools we got very good sort of matrix and performance. There's fantastic world-class and internationally leading research happening in all of our 3 schools, and I'll quickly pick up on a couple of those areas shortly. So briefly to the faculty, as I mentioned, we have 3 separate schools that form the Faculty of Technology. You may have interest in different ones, and I noticed across the programme this week, you're going to have insights and experience from all 3 of those areas, which will be really interesting for you, I think. So I'll quickly take you through each of the 3 schools. So computer science and informatics, our largest school in the faculty, very popular and exciting programs across the whole range of the computer disciplines. The research excellence that underpins that is particularly important. So we have world-class leading experts in ethics, and I know that Catherine Flick is speaking to you later on this week, so she'll be very interesting. Got a very important emphasis on the need for ethics in computer science. Cybersecurity, we have world-class experts in. We train Airbus and BT in understanding the challenges around cybersecurity. So, research, teaching excellence combined with the high student numbers, and the need to as well to bring in excellent pedagogy in terms of what we do in those areas to make it exciting and innovative for students. Likewise, the Leicester Media School, also our second largest school in the faculty. Typically in the UK, I don't know internationally, but media is often split between the arts or the sciences. So you might study journalism, communication studies, film studies, and then the BSc side of things, the media production, VFX, would be in a separate institution. And we're proud that we mix those together in one school, in one interdisciplinary school. And again, very strong research into investigative journalism, into film, television history. We're also really proud of one of our academics, Monia, who's the world expert in Indian and Asian Film Festival, and launched 2 years ago the very first Leicester Asian Film Festival. You will know and you'll pick up as you stay here this week, that Leicester's very proud of this multicultural and Asian heritage as well, and that's very much reflected in the work that we do here. And then finally, we have the School of Engineering and Sustainable Development. This is my own personal background, particularly around energy and sustainability. So very strong and popular mechanical engineering courses, mechatronics. We're just relaunching our electronic and electrical engineering provision at the moment, as well as world-class research, particularly around the areas of energy and sustainable development. The images you can see behind here are of work that we've been doing in Nigeria around low-cost affordable housing in villages. So these houses here are made of recycled plastic bottles filled with sand that actually make a very sort of good low-cost, sustainable form of building materials. But then as well, you can see on the top there's the PV, there's rainwater harnessing, so bringing our sustainability credentials to bear. Energy and sort of low-cost, off-the-grid, renewable energy is really important in these rural villages because electricity makes all the difference. We take for granted, don't we? Being able to study in the evenings because we have light on and we can charge our mobile phones and we can work in a lot of these rural areas. The difference between having low-scale electricity to be able to have a light on in the evening and the mobile phone charger can suddenly transform education, communication, and the future potential of those who live there. So really important research that we're doing. I mentioned our international outlook at the start. That takes many different forms, from the research projects that you're involved in, collaborations like the Erasmus projects. We take a lot of our students, we want to provide them international experiences so they can have a broader understanding of the world. Again, that takes many forms. All of our programs have to have an international link to them and opportunities for students to have a subsidized international or European trip. And then we also hold in January and springtime large-scale university trips, one to New York and then one to Berlin. Here's some images for the trip to New York. It's really important. Many of our students who come here have never had the opportunity to travel abroad before. We know the benefits of international travel in terms of expanding people's outlook. Whilst the students were out there back in January, they participated in this UN project where we signed up to be a member of the UN Together campaign in support of refugees, and so we're very proud to be a member of this program and starting to understand how students and universities can use their skills and do that bottom-up activism to engage with issues like refugees, for example. And I mentioned finally that the latest sort of incarnation of that is exploring how as a university we can support the Sustainable Development Goals. So our Vice Chancellors, particularly over the last year or two, started to realise that this is an important area for us to deal with. We're currently mapping, for example, all of our curriculum and research to see how it can support the Sustainable Development Goals. We're very proud in our Faculty of Technology. We're currently organising a trip to India in February, and we're comfortably hitting multiple of these in terms of our research. So whether it's the gender equality issues, that we've got some really interesting work in computer science, looking at access to technology for women in slums. I mentioned our work on affordable and clean energy. Sustainable citizen communities is also really important areas. We start to understand how citizens can participate better in sustainable and smart cities. Understanding the security implications also of a more technically enabled city. Plastic as well, water research, we're doing kind of multiple goals here. So we feel that this is an important area as we move forward as our teaching and research, and also helping to understand our students that they have a global responsibility as they graduate from here. So that's kind of a whistle-stop introduction to the faculty. I hope you can see some of the breadth of work we're doing, and much of that is going to be reflected over the coming week as you spend your time here. So welcome again, thank you for coming. Rather to Armageddon again for organising this week, and I'll leave you back in the hands of Armageddon.
Thank you so much. Thank you.